Scientists think there was a time when the entire human population almost disappeared, shrinking to the size of a single village. And if that village had vanished, you wouldn't be watching this video.
Lord Patrol!
Scientists studying human DNA discovered something strange. When they looked deep into our genetic history, it appeared that our family tree may have narrowed dramatically at one point. A moment when the population became surprisingly small. Exactly how small is debated. But some estimates suggest only a few thousand people remained. Possibly even fewer breeding individuals. To put that into perspective, a modern football stadium holds more people. A medium-sized town holds more people. Even some villages today hold more people. Imagine the entire future of humanity reduced to a group small enough that everyone might know each other. That is the scale we're talking about. For an entire species, that is not a comfortable number. Now you might be wondering, how can scientists possibly know how many humans were alive tens of thousands of years ago? It's not like anyone was taking a census. The answer is hidden inside us. Our DNA carries clues about our ancestors. And when scientists compared human DNA from people around the world, they noticed something unusual. Humans today are genetically more similar to each other than you might expect. As if our family tree passed through a surprisingly narrow point in the past. A genetic bottleneck, like a giant river forced through a tiny gap. And every person alive today exists on the other side of that gap. So what happened? The honest answer is, we do not know for sure. But whatever happened, it was serious enough to leave a mark in our genetic history. The usual suspects include climate change, long droughts, disappearing food, and a world that was much harder to survive in. Earth was not exactly a cozy place. If the rains failed, food disappeared. If food disappeared, people moved. And if too many people were competing for too little food, things became difficult very quickly. One of the most famous suspects is a supervolcano. Around 74,000 years ago, Mount Toba erupted in present-day Indonesia. And when I say erupted, I do not mean a slightly dramatic mountain. The eruption was enormous. Ash spread across vast areas. The skies may have darkened. Temperatures may have dropped. Ecosystems may have been disrupted. For humans already living in a difficult world, that is not the sort of news you want to receive. Some scientists think events like this may have helped push humanity toward a bottleneck. Others disagree. They argue the story was probably more complicated. And that's one of the frustrating things about prehistory. There are no eyewitnesses, no written records, no ancient journalist interviewing a volcano, just clues, and a very old mystery. And here's the part that makes me uncomfortable. The smaller a population becomes, the easier it is for bad luck to finish the job. One drought, one harsh winter, one failed migration, one disease outbreak, and suddenly there may not be enough survivors left to recover. Extinction doesn't always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it arrives one missing generation at a time. And that's why this story matters, because humanity did not survive a single challenge. It survived thousands. Ice ages, volcanoes, predators, disease, climate shifts, and countless dangers we will never know about. Every generation faced problems that could have ended their story. And somehow, enough people made it through. Every person alive today is part of one chain. If a single link breaks, everything after it disappears. No cities, no kingdoms, no pyramids, no Roman Empire, no internet, no music, no lore patrol. Everything humans have ever built depends on that chain remaining unbroken. Think about how unlikely that is. Your parents survived. Their parents survived. And their parents before them. Generation after generation, stretching back through famines, through wars, through ice ages, through dangers we will never know about. Break that chain once, and none of us are here. So, how close did humanity come to extinction? We're still investigating. But one thing is clear. Our survival was never guaranteed. At several points, things could have gone differently. A slightly harsher climate, a failed migration, a few unlucky generations, and the human story ends before it truly begins. Yet somehow, it didn't. Someone survived, then someone else, then someone else, for thousands of generations. And eventually, one of those survivors became you. This has been Lore Patrol.
Lord Patrol.
Subscribe and stay unextinct.